How you doing? Welcome to the world of EOD, the electronic world of the family of the chickens. Anyways, what I want to go over you right now is just a Hebrew word, which is pay and fay. Pay is the 17th letter. Fay has a marking of 80, which means that the both worlds of Zion, which means Zion could mean the fourth angel and the sixth man, 4 and 6, 8-0. Okay? But the all actuality, the Alpha Omega of heaven is 8,000. 9,000 for the chicory. But no one ever gets to go to the chicory. You come out of the chicory. What does that mean? When you get laid, when your egg cracks and it opens up, then you are reborn again. How you come out and what you look like, I don't know. Maybe you look like what you look like today, but in a speedy version of 21 days. Anyways, the what happens, let's see if I can keep up to that, is that the king of diamonds, that suit, as I showed you previously, it's gone. When God goes to work, he takes that suit off. The only place God uses the king of diamonds is in prayer. That's it. Why? Because if you turn a diamond no matter which way, right, up or down, you're always connecting to both sides of the board. You see 2468, 2468? Well, the other ones are levels, okay? Nothing goes on there. 10 cards don't exist. This card is an expression of the 9 and the 8, because the 8 to 9 to 0 is all one thing again. The 0 is the egg, and when it cracks the egg, okay, I'll show you a little bit further on. So the king of diamonds is suit of prayer. When he is the father, he is the spade. And with that spade, it's a cutting tool. You use it to cut. You use it to dig. You can whack someone over the head if you want with it, but a spade can cut a diamond. If you use it properly, the spade can cut the diamond. But it doesn't matter. They'll only chip it anyways. And I'm going to get into that a little further on. So, what suit does God take for the chicory, for the eggs? Well, he takes the suit, to finish off with God is the spade, okay, if I'm right. He's the spade because when he uses the spade, our universe leaves this space we're inhibiting for the little while, we are only inhibiting a space. Whatever place you are, your place or chase, your place that you're in, sitting right then now, you're not actually in the same place. You're in the same space, but not in the same space, in the same place, because not only does the earth turn around and go around the sun, but the entire universe moves. That's why we see these certain things that come about, because we're on the track. We're going at the same speed. We've been at the same speed. We pass by the same things over and over again. And eventually certain things pass through our universe that God doesn't want to upset. He knows it's going to fly on by, so he lets it go foul. And he doesn't bother. Yes, God uses baseball terms, hockey terms, football, soccer, cards, backgammon, mahjong, bridge, whatever you want. Even the game of poker bluff. God sits down and plays with one eye, as he's a one-eyed diamond, and he keeps praying on the bluff. What bluff is it? It's this bluff. It's our lives and his lives. He gave the game of bluff 105. Look it up in the CB codes. Why? Ace to king is 91, and the ace goes again at the end for 14 because it stays next to the king, especially in bluff. It's spirit. You see, in blackjack, the ace and the king are a little bit different because the ace and the hole is the spirit connect, okay, to us, okay. So it's not the king, it's the jack. So it only can get the jack's value. The jack is the 11th card in the deck. Therefore, the ace takes on its value. When it's a game of bluff and a game of life, well, God plays that game and nobody else. Then the ace takes on a value of 14. Or in war, casino war, the ace takes on a value of 1 or 14. God can decide on his own, but obviously it's going to be 14. Okay? Every letter, the letter B, split it in half. You have two lines. You can look at them as two ones. You can look at them as However if you can take the same item, okay, the same item. I'm not talking like 3 different kinds of flour. It's got to be exactly the same. Split it up and find a way for them to fit together that you don't cut it up more than its original singular size. Singular means of one direction, of one dimension. Singular. How is it spelled? Just made it up. I just put the definition in here. I didn't think of how it writes. I don't read any books. I just put it up here. Of course, I write a lot and I rewrite my stuff. Have I read anybody's books? I've read very few, and I've read a lot of my stuff. Not enough. There's too much. It just keeps coming on in, so I just wrote it on down. Is it good for you? What's good for you? What's good for me? Anyways, thus God, as a father, he takes on the club suit, becomes the club father to the baby chicks in the hatchery. Therefore, if you're going to get any suit on top of your head, usually it's going to be the male club, okay, and the female suit, okay. So the jack of clubs, okay, all the males have to go there, even for the working. We need more hens than anything. One bird can take care of a few of them. And so I'm not going to get into that. I just want to show you. So what happens is they went ahead to this diamond, okay, because he needed to create these other 2 suits. He had 2 more floors in his chicken houses, and he didn't have a name. Right now, I'll call it alpha, beta, gamma. Alpha, beta, beta. That's what he could have called it. So he had to call it. So what he did is he took this big spade and he cracked the diamond in 2 so he can create 2 more groups. So when he cracked it in 2, I was thinking, what does the stand look like on a spade? Look at the stand on the spade. Can you see the stand? Okay. There's a candle inside. The spade is actually a candle. It's nothing else but a candle. They're candling the eggs. While they turn them in primordial times, they are candling the eggs. Look in the smaller version. Look, they're candling the eggs. That's what the spade is all about. So it's not a spade after all. It's to candle the eggs, to warm the eggs up so they can turn them in the trays, in the praise of our Lord. And then what happens is this. That's the pyramid of you connecting to your angel. That's what happened to the diamond when they split it in half to create the spade and the club. It's split like that. Now, if you take a look at it, okay, carefully, okay, it is the bottom part of the spade, but it also makes the pentagram. If you flip them up the other way, okay, it creates the Magen David, okay, and at the same time, it left a jaggedy line. So what do you think? One became the spade, and the jaggedy line was also the spade, except it was a female. So being a female, this is what they had to do. See, those are both spades. You're asking where the 4th leaf clover is? Buddy, the 4th leaf clover is your death, okay? The 3rd leaf is just there hanging on. But you die into the 4th leaf, you come to the rebirth, and therefore, that chicken, okay, who turned that club inside of her for the rest of her life, walking around, that is the way it works in the hatchery. It just turns, and it turns, and it turns, and it turns. And you know what area it's in? It's in area 51. 9. Why 9? Because it's a multitude of everything that went in there. Something comes out of something. You have one that comes out from the sperm that goes into the egg, and the egg you have as 2. The 3 is the creation of the 2. You have a chicken or an angel, you have the 4. That angel connects with the sperm or with the spirit of the Father into us. Now you have a 5. A man comes out from this, you have a 6. Thus, therefore, a son of God. He is a 7. He is in the 2 heavens. You have an 8. And from it all, he became a birth. Area 51B. The transport center station of everything. The planet I call Jupiter is not just any other planet. I mean, it tells everything all in itself, you know. I mean, the planet is is the middle of everything. It's the biggest planet, and it just gobbled up one of those satellites. Don't send anything over there. You know what it's like in Deep Space Nine? Why is everything 9? Well, 8 is reserved for the heavens, right? 9 is for the birth. Well, 9 is for the birth. Why use 9? Well, we're out discovering, and there's a birth every single time we stick a spade outside of our universe into the new world. We have a new birth of some sort of organism of some sort. Otherwise, 100% it don't stick to the shovel. Well, the ice won't stick to the shovel, and whatever we pull back in, if it's too hot, it'll just burn off because we don't bring in bacteria. And it's pretty warm up there, and look at the cards, because some of the cards that are created, one of them is like this. She's holding around her neck, okay, the J letter. I wish I could hold this straight. You see both of them? Both of them hold the J letter. Why? One is the Queen of Hearts, and that's the angel on top of us. That's the angel that has to be with us. As much as I think it's still the one eye, it's got to be the club. But I think the club goes over on the female because he has no mustache. And the one card that is there with one eye that's not a jack, it's a jack of spade. So since he can't have kids, I guess he's spaded because all spades are female. But all clubs are female. Let me explain it to you. A spade is both. He shows one eye, it means he can be both sexes. A male jack shows one eye, it means the suit can be of both sexes through the one card. So the only card that only shows one real truth to the suit is the club, and it's a female. She wears the club on her hat, and whatever card you take out, if I can get you the cards quick enough, and I don't have to look too much on the side, that most suits, I cut them all up. Here, I'll just show you one more. Most suits, all queens, have the club on it. Another thing I'm going to tell you, man is 6. Okay, very simply, let's go on. Man is 6. Jack of hearts, one eye. Jack of spades, one eye. Jack of clubs, 2 eyes. Jack of diamonds, 2 eyes. Total 6. God is 7. Club, king, 2 eyes. Spade, 2 eyes. Hearts, 2 eyes. King of diamonds, 1 eye. 7. Queen, who have the 2 eggs. Okay? Do you think this is anything for a queen? That's an egg. How do you think they designed that? It's the egg and the sperm inside each other making the Q. They have the baby, it makes the U. This is not for nothing. And she's also supporting the club because she is not really real. She had nothing to do with this. God had to transfer from suit to suit, so we had to make a fake family in each one to balance everything off. Okay? You want to see something real? You want to fall in love? Go fall in love with this. This, my friends, is Mary Magdalene. This is where she has gone. This is her face. This is her nose. Look at the Da Vinci Code. Look at that Last Supper. This is Mary Magdalene. Am I willing to stick my bottom dollar on it? No, but it came out that way, and I want to stick to it. Okay? I could be wrong. I don't know. But she's the one who made all the babies. She's the whore. Well, a whore, or means out of time, or a horse, S-E, at the end of whore. The S-E is the spirit connect. She was the connection with Jesus. She had to leave town because she was pregnant. She wasn't just sitting there next to the other guys leaning back and so smiley. She was pregnant because Jesus wanted her to be pregnant. She needed to be pregnant, and if they knew it was Jesus who did it, they would blame it all on him, and it happened too fast, so they had to get her out of town. Okay? They didn't want anybody against them, but she brought up a son, and that son was not in this world anymore, but he's brought up sons, and from there it moves on. So where is Mary Magdalene? Now, from which side did I come from? Did I come from this side? Or am I the lost son? Anyways, I just want to say one more thing. If God stands in blackjack on a heart 17, what would he be standing on? He'd be standing on, first of all, he'd be standing in heaven with babies, okay? And he'd have a male on earth and a spirit angel connected. He would be happy as shit, right? God would just be standing on 10 and 6 and 1, and he's got everybody at home. Take care, guys. 10